On 6 May 2024, Chad will hold national elections. The elections are expected to bring to a close the 3-year transition led by the military that seized power following the demise of former President Idriss Deby in April 2021. Following his days, the constitution was suspended, the government dissolved, and a transitional military council was established with Mahamat Idriss Deby, the late president's son, at its helm. The head of the Transitional Military Council and the transitional president of Chad, Mahamat Deby, who, as per the African Union norms and his own pledge, should not have been on the ballot paper, has become the leading candidate for the 6 May 2024 elections. Considering the uneven playing ground, it appears to be a foregone conclusion that Deby would win. Following the original sin of the African Union's Peace and Security Council's failure to designate the military seizure of power by suspending the constitution as unconstitutional on the basis of the African Union Constitutive Act, the emergence of Deby as candidate threatens to deal another blow to the African Union norm on unconstitutional change of government. The policy question for the African Union and other regional bodies, such as the Economic Community of West African States, is: will the African Union continue its exceptional treatment of Chad or enforce its own norms and decisions? This is Amani Africa Dispatch, our videocast on current political, governance, and peace and security affairs of continental and multilateral policy importance. The election is being held not only against the background of a contested transition process that entrenched the position of Deby and the murder of Yahya Dillo, Chad's prominent opposition leader, on 28 February 2024, but also in violation of the African Union norms, banning those who seized power unconstitutionally through military means from standing for election. Deby's candidacy for presidency of Chad poses a direct challenge to the credibility and authority of the African Union and its Peace and Security Council. But the implications extend far beyond Chad's borders. Deby's potential election could set a dangerous precedent for other countries in the region that are in transition following military seizure of power. If Chad's interim leader is allowed to transition from military rule to elected president and the African Union fails to act, it may embolden other military leaders across Africa to follow in the same direction. This could undermine the efforts of the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States to arrest the spread of coups and could lead to a proliferation of unconstitutional changes of government. The Peace and Security Council constantly demanded that members of the Transitional Military Council, including Deby, refrain from participating in elections in Chad. As the Transitional Military Council has continued to defy the demands made by the Peace and Security Council, one option available for the Peace and Security Council is to suspend Chad, considering that compliance with these conditions was a consideration for not suspending Chad in November 2022. By demonstrating a willingness to enforce its decisions, the Peace and Security Council can send a strong message about the importance of upholding the African Union norms, barring military leaders from legitimizing their unconstitutional act by orchestrating elections. Additionally, the Peace and Security Council can emphasize the lack of legitimacy of an electoral process that includes candidates from the Transitional Military Council by not sending election observer mission to Chad. Although these viable options can restore the integrity of the African Union's norms, a key question remains. If Deby is elected president, how should the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States mitigate the adverse precedent this may set for the 6 other countries that are under military rule? A major lesson from this debacle and in how the African Union engages in the other 6 cases is that the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States must ensure consistent enforcement of their decisions and norms. Inconsistencies in addressing similar situations, as seen in the case of Chad, erode trust and credibility. They should hold all member states accountable to the same standards without exceptions. This is Amani Africa Dispatch.